My bouts with life-threatening illness at times make me really anxious that I won't get the opportunity to help people to know this truth that I have found. That anxiety led me to the microphone today to give me that opportunity to share with ever who is here listening. Hello there. Coming on today to express a reflection, an intention, and in consideration of when people say I want to leave a legacy with the world. I've been reflecting a lot on experience where I thought I would not make it when I was in the hospital in 2016. And I was states away from people that I knew. And I had gone there for specialty care and ended up being too medically compromised to stay. And as I reflected on that hospital bed, I remember feeling like I had sacrificed the things in my life that truly mattered. I had chased this vision that I would be worthy when I became an Air Force oral maxillofacial surgeon. I pushed away relationships. I sacrificed my health in order to obtain what I thought I needed to in order to prove my worth and my value in this world. The pain of loneliness at that time was deep, but my thoughts about what I needed to do in order to be worthy were deeper. I didn't have the capacity at that time to sit with the question of who am I without all these titles? Am I valuable if I choose not to continue on the path I have put myself on? As a consequence of not allowing myself to really consider these questions, when I returned home from that hospital stay, I threw myself right back into what I came from, which happened to be a surgical residency. I thought if I was only stronger, I could push myself through. I didn't know at the time that what Brene Brown found at the core of mental toughness is self-compassion. I didn't believe that I was enough or worthy outside of being a military oral surgeon. So a year later, I ended up at another hospital, my home institution, in a dire state with my medical compromise from an eating disorder. And as I was inpatient, I was interviewing for another job, right? How dare I consider pausing and taking care of myself? As a single female, I relied on myself for finances. I relied on myself. So in the hospital, I faced uncertainty about my military career. And just in case I made connections and a plan for a career pivot from oral surgery into oral medicine, I was in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, it's really hard to think of a full spectrum of options and to slow down, give yourself time to breathe. I would end up getting discharged from the military shortly thereafter. I started a new residency in oral medicine. I put my head down. I was so tired, but I put my head down in order to make it through. I graduated at the end of 2019 and started my faculty position in a year we all know too well, 2020. So as the state of the world erupted into chaos due to COVID, and our worlds were all changing, we're all scared. I was a faculty in a hospital-based dentistry department, and we were one of the first departments, of course, dentistry, high aerosol, high risk for COVID, to kind of be shut down, which forced me to sit with myself more. I don't know if I would have given myself permission to do it had I not been forced to. But it took me out of the environment. And as I once again was told I may not survive the illness that I used to cope, I knew I couldn't keep doing what I was doing. I was fortunate to come across a group that led me to the work of Martha Beck, her book, The Way of Integrity, which speaks a lot about how it shows up when we are living out of alignment with what matters most to us. She shares how her physical and mental states declined when she was pursuing what she thought she needed to, at the sacrifice of what was true to her. Her book resonated so deeply with me that I joined her life coaching program for my own healing. I did change jobs. I moved across the country. But so many of the things I chose to run toward were the same things I had already discovered didn't align with wellness for me. I have grown exponentially over the past 3 years. I valued the opportunity to be part of an institution whose mission was greater than mine. I've leaned into understanding the impacts of my own life-threatening illness on my mind, my body, and my spirit. The anxiety that arises when I allow myself to accept that that person on the hospital bed was me. For some reason, I survived. For some reason, I survived. And that reason, to me, is to help others to see that societal pressures are leading so many of us away from what truly matters in life. That many of us are going to get to our deathbeds and reflect back and realize that we lived a life in accordance to what we believed we needed to be, while abandoning parts of ourselves and increasing our own internal suffering, but not acknowledging that we were always enough. We were always worthy. We always deserved to feel safe and loved and valued. The pain of all the sacrifice, of all the self-hate, of all the years of never feeling enough. It almost cost me my life, not only from anorexia, but just feeling that psychic I needed to go away so badly. In order to relieve myself of the suffering and create a life worth living, I've had to align my actions with what truly matters most to me. The profound grief that comes with letting go of aspects of who you thought you needed to be was super uncomfortable. In order to heal and be on this healing journey that has not yet ended, nor do I ever think it will, I had to be present with myself. I had to learn to sit with all emotions at a pace that was tolerable. And the discomfort and the mental anguish that came up taught me the importance of not doing this process alone. Feeling like it was just me had previously put me into isolation and shame. But sharing my journey out loud has brought me close to people who are on similar explorations, the seekers, the wayfinders, those challenging the status quo and asking what more is there to life. So if I were to leave a legacy, I would hope it would be this, that you matter. You are worthy. You are always enough. You deserve the love, the best friend inside your brain, someone that offers you compassion, that sees your suffering, that validates it, honors it, respects it, comforts you, and allows yourself to ask, what do I need in these moments, with curiosity and without judgment. If I were to leave a legacy, it would be to help you to fully embrace who you are and celebrate your unique gifts with the world. If you want to compare, consider. You are the only one who can be and do what you are uniquely positioned here in this world, in this very temporary world, to do. You're the only one. How cool is that? If you let go of this comparison that makes you feel less than, really focus on the fact that you're the only one that can live the life that you are living, that can bring the unique gifts that you have, the messages that you have, the experiences you have into this world, how different would that feel? If you can show up as your own best friend rather than your worst inner critic, how would that impact your inner suffering? If you can trust that you are worthy and enough, and know that if you were to give me your CV to prove it, that I would vomit because I don't need it. I don't want it. I'll celebrate you for doing things that are part of your life that matter to you, but I don't need it in order to give you unconditional love, to see how much you matter, to know you are worthy of a fulfilling life that's true to you. If I could leave a legacy, it would sound like that. It would be one of acceptance, inclusion, belonging, community, creating meaning, purpose in our life, where we're kind to one another. We're not competing, but we are one in unity towards a shared goal of reducing suffering and bringing more love and kindness into the world. My bouts with life-threatening illness at times make me really anxious that I won't get the opportunity to help people to know this truth that I have found. That anxiety led me to the microphone today to give me that opportunity to share with ever who is here listening. I hear it too. That's the importance of sharing our voice, the messages that matter to us. We hear it too. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And no, I see you. I have so much love for you. I have hope that things always won't be so hard. We can create lives that are truly meaningful with people who value us and support us for who we are. And if you're in the moments where you need to borrow hope from someone, borrow mine, as I have often borrowed the hope from others. And I value the opportunity to pay it forward. And I hope when it feels right, you too will do the same. Life is so short, and we pretend like it's not. We focus on scarcity of money without accepting the scarcity of time. But if we accept the scarcity of time in our mortality, it can help us to lead more intentional lives. So what intention do you want to set today? A small step, something that you know you can commit to and be successful at. What small step do you want to take today in order to dial up time spent on what truly matters in your life and dial down the things that no longer align with what you value most? Love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your reflections, your intentions down below. And until next time, thanks for being here.